Good evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. Today, we're going to be doing Kyle Martinez's Agent deck profile. A very interesting deck. He top 4'd in the last tournament by Paradise Games. How was it?
It was really good. I think the deck is a lot of fun. It's not exactly meta, but it catches people by surprise. No one knows what to expect. A lot of people don't know what to side. And I mean, it's agents. I've loved agents since I came back in 2012. So.
Okay. Well, let's get down to the deck profile.
Okay. This is it's agents, but it's a little different. I like to call it soul agents. It abuses soul charge. So
Okay.
You play 3 Earth, standard, 3 Venus, and 3 Shine Ball. Back in especially 2012, which most people are familiar with agents, it's Shine Ball was just go into Gotchi, but the deck is a lot more dynamic than that now. And I'll go over that later. Other than that, you play your big 3 boss monsters, Hyperion, still really good. And one of the MVPs is definitely a 3 Herald, Orange Light. Stops everything. I mean, you want an effect? Nope. Herald says no. So on top of that, probably the biggest reason I'm playing the deck is 2 Christia. This card single-handedly makes me just makes
it just wins.
It wins games on its own, and it's really good against Lightsworns. I'm actually XO against all the Lightsworns I've gone up so far just because of this card. The only cards I can think of and get over it is Honest, Raikou, which is a little side, or Breakthrough, which Breakthrough is their answer to this definitely. And
why not 3?
I was testing 3. 3 could clog. In different builds, there definitely was 3. Early in this format, there was 3, but I want to be ready for my weaker matchups like Bujin. It's definitely a hard matchup of mine. Hat, I don't want too much of it out. The MVP in the Hat matchup is definitely this. You have to be careful with Christia because if you have too much, it can be cloggy. But there is a card I'll play, which I'll show in a bit. It's a spell that helps with Christia. And then I'll move on to my 1-ofs. Honest, obvious. 1 card Trooper. 1/2 because it's not that good mid to late game. It's a good early card game to you mill cards. I'll mill Christia, then you play 3 Soul Charge. So first turn, mill Christia, Soul Charge it back, and it's auto win for some matchups. And you don't want to draw it late game because it does nothing. And the obvious BLS. No Sorks because Chaos Sorcerer because you don't need it, and it can get cloggy. So BLS does its job.
For
and on top of that, I play 2 Tour Guides. Not 3, because 2 is the perfect number. This deck has too many normal summons, so you don't want to open too many cards where that just sit in your hand. And another one of the MVPs is 3 Curve Bandits. Curve Bandit gets your food to the graveyard for Hyperions, Christias, and it works really well because, on top of 2 Maxis, the MVP, it's definitely a Soul Charge. Play 3 Soul Charges because it's broken. Hyperion you can just grab it back. It's no conditions. Christia, no conditions. Get back Honest. Put it to your hand. No, just so many really good.
So
plays.
it just makes a lot of plays.
Yeah, this definitely one of the MVPs, and I don't mind going balls deep and paying 4K, getting out 4 things because I'll make a big wall. Go into a Gotchi, whatever. Not scared, especially if I could back it up with a Herald for their follow-up play. And 1 tech Valhalla. Trying it out right now. It's pretty good. It's really good. Just turn 1, get it out. Get out of Christia. It's just really good altogether. Just because it helps the deck be a lot aggressive a lot sooner. Because the deck does need to set up. Your obvious first turn plays are Venus, Card Trooper, and Curve Bandits. But if I have this Curve Bandit and Special Christia, I'm in a really good spot. So this is more of an early game card and late game when I'm recycling a Christie, they Tarantula or whatever goes on top. Next turn, just get them out with Valhalla and, more troubles for them. And that's about it. That's it for monsters and spells. For traps, it's definitely a lot more trap heavy than most people would think. It isn't Chaos Agents, so, I love traps. I'm a big trap player. So the obvious Tarantula, Bottomless, Compulse. 3 Call, which is just too good with Christia, anything, they special something, they try to go into an Exceed or Synchro, call back Christia, it's done, or Soul Charge, okay, call Christia, it's over.
And we can all assume you're not playing Warning because of 3 Soul Charge.
Yeah, no warning. just because Christia is a warning on its own, kind of, it's pseudo warning. It just tells your opponent you can't special. On top of that, I am playing Breakthrough. These were Phoenix Wing Wind Blasts earlier in the format when Dragon was bigger. It's still really good. I would consider swapping these with Wing Blast because when I played 2 Wing Blasts, I did play 3 Christia because, get it to the grave with Wing Blast and then call it back. But this is just really good to pitch with, or to excavate with Cur Bandit, keep it in the grave, and it's just altogether, a really strong card. So I've tested it and I like it a lot. And last card for the 40th is Needlebug Nest. A lot of people question this card, but I really like it because this, like all decks, like all combo-based decks, you can brick, and this sets up your grave. It gets food for Hyperion, food for Christia. Another one of the MVPs, which I'll show you in the extra deck, is Herald of Pure Light, and this just gets things to grave faster to ensure you have the right setup of cards to stop whatever your opponent does.
Oh, cool.
And another really important part of this deck is your extra. Obvious 2s, Gotchi, Phoenix, they're there for whatever. And this is one of the MVPs, definitely very underrated card. Like I was saying earlier, back in 2012, agents were just, get out Gotchi or maybe Phoenix. But ever since this card has been released, it's really helped the deck, set up the way you want to set up. Because if you have a milled BLS, you can put a BLS back to your hand, put a Christia back to your hand.
Put a Shine Ball back to your deck.
Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, I love putting Shine Balls back to the deck with this. And putting orange back to your hand is just, too strong. Because this can win games altogether if you save it for the right card.
Okay, alright.
And your 3s, Engineer, really strong, because I play the 2 tour guides. I'll go tour guide into Cur Bandit or whatever, Engineer, and then drop Christia, and then Christia and Engineer lock, So that's really good. Levier, because there is a OTK with Levier, Hyperion, and Venus. 2 Alucards. I play 2 because I love to bait things out. I'll tour guide, Cur Bandit, or another tour guide. Summon an Alucard.
Shiny. Move it over the middle, so it's alright. Yeah.
Alucard just, force the Black Horns, force the Bottomless, so it clears the way for my big bosses. On top of that, I play 2 Downards. 2 may seem excessive, but I almost always make 2 every match, just because Gotchi's all used up. Overlay it, whatever. A dead Levier, especially this, I love to overlay after I use effect, main phase 2, overlay, and they have to worry about a 25 beater, which is piercing. So that's pretty good. Or Alucard, pop something, main phase 2, overlay, so it's good. And then the one Felgrand. Felgrand's just good altogether against certain matchups, auto win against some. 2 Hyperions. It's a little rough to get into this, but with Soul Charge, it's not as hard as you'd think. And for Synchros, Cataster, I don't go into it much, but it's just there for Leo, which can be a problem. Armides, great against hands, great against a lot of things that flip, things like that. Testing a Michael over Ancient Sacred Wyvern. I haven't made it yet, but it's a good card that I do have access to in this deck, so why not? Black Rose for when you need to Black Rose, and Leo, because it's possible. A level 2 tuner and a 8, and Leo wins games on its own. So yeah, that's my deck. I love it. It's definitely not,
Forgot the sideboard.
Oh, sideboard? Well, sideboard, it's more...
Well, yeah, I can understand that. So you feel like Light Sworn's your easiest matchup? What is your hardest matchup?
Hardest matchup is Bujin or Hat. A good Hat player will know what to stop, and I can't deal with just the way they just keep having a supply of monsters. I need Herald to stay alive in the Hat matchup, and Bujin's all together just because they don't worry about Christias and
Okay.
Yeah, Hyperion, I can't pop them sometimes, and yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
All right. So, out of the whole tournament that you played today, what was your hardest matchup, or the most strenuous matchup that you played?
Strenuous matchup. That would be TG Stun. It was round 1. I go against TG Stun, and I don't main MST, so he goes first. He summons Rush Rhino, flips Heal Drain when I try to Venus my turn. And it's really rough, especially because he had the Horn of Phantom Beast. And then game 2, I didn't see the MSTs I sided in either. And he had a Barbros, Skill Drain, and two Horn of the Beast on that Barbro. So
Oh
it's
wow,
pretty
that thing was
much-
just buff.
Yeah, so I got 2-0'd. Rest of that, the tournament went pretty smoothly. No complaints. The deck can draw bad occasionally, you know, shine balls, but that's what you have Pure Light for, so
Okay.
that mitigates a lot of bad hands. And
Well,
yeah.
this has been Mikhail Martinez's deck profile. Thank you guys for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.